Welcome to Hot Topics in International Trade, brought to you by Braumiller Law Group and Braumiller Consulting Group. Hi, I'm Bob Brewer with Braumiller Law Group. Welcome to the podcast. I'm again joined with James Holbein, our DC counsel and guru on all things crypto and digital and DAO and blockchain. And have I missed something?
Web3.
Web3. This is the man. If you go back and revisit podcast 1, we talked about FTX and the landscape there. Podcast 2, we talked about government regulations. You can also get a little bit more on James's bio, how he's the fintech king of Mondac, and yes, he's a thought leadership award was given to him about 2 weeks ago. It covers the United States of America. As I mentioned before, 30,000 reads in the past 6 months, 7 months alone. Not bad, buddy. Not bad.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's actually really funny to hear somebody compliment me like that.
What?
Like a lot of people, it makes me blush.
I don't.
So anyway, but thank you.
No,
I really appreciate it.
I don't make up these. This is what Mondac has in the database on you, and that's why you won the award. Very well-read author, put it that way. So I wanted to move into this third podcast on our series, basically covering what I want to know what you think of the future now, of where we're going with all of this.
Okay. I think that's a really good topic.
Yeah, very broad.
Why even bother with this whole digital asset technology or building an economy of some sort, Web3, the metaverse? What are we talking about? What is all that?
Yep.
So I think there is a future, or I wouldn't be into it. I've studied it to try to understand what it is that's going on in the sector. What is it how it's being regulated now, how it needs to be regulated in the future with an eye toward, okay, it works. We get proper regulation and we squeeze out all the fraud. The companies get it together and make it easy to use, so it's as easy to either trade crypto or to use these digital assets is the way I like to describe it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's going to be private crypto based very much. I think it's going to be much more credit card or debit card based, and that the exchange of various types of currency is going to become almost instantaneous and straightforward. Your wallet would be something like a secure credit card.
Like the Chinese.
There's companies that already have credit card-like devices that you use with your phone that are your hard wallet. So we're going to make it simple and easy for people to use. That's me. In order for this to have any impact on the economy and have any reality for people, we've got to go ahead and make it simple and easy and seamless. Just as you use a debit card, 5, 6, 7 years ago, we weren't using debit cards anywhere. Now we use them everywhere. Yep. It'll be the same transition. It'll just be another way of payment and settlement that is behind the click that we don't have to think about. We just use the asset.
Honestly, I think the only way I use cash these days is to tip my massage therapists. That's it. Everything else goes on the debit card.
I confess that I use cash sometimes to buy food if I don't want my wife to know
I do DoorDash. I do DoorDash.
That's about it.
Yeah. I don't even leave my desk. I'm probably at least 1,000 in on Amazon.com.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah. Bezos just needs to show up at my door and say, Bob, I want to thank you personally. And that Ferrari out front, that's yours. You're the man. All right, getting back. I digress.
We do.
That's what I say. All right, so getting back to the landscape in the future.
In the future. Ease of use is critical.
Yes, it is. I agree.
That's like, without that, it won't be part of the economy. Assume it is. What are the strong points? What are we doing this for? Okay. The Web3 I touched on briefly in the prior broadcast or podcast, but I want to reiterate. Web3 is about read-write identity. You can post things on the internet, you can interact with it, and if you can prove identity, that makes transactions, even commercial transactions, much more straightforward and instantaneous. And international transactions get a lot stronger.
Yeah. And
a lot easier. So I think that there is some utility for trade, supply chain, traceability of disease type causing things like you had mentioned in a prior example about Walmart has used this technology to trace salmonella in their lettuce and greens that they sell, and it gives you complete visibility right to where everything comes from. The same can be done with minerals. The same can be done with many manufactured articles. So for country of origin issues, for these are trade things that we work with a lot, but for country of origin and lots of other
Well,
issues.
forced labor. I think of forced labor, and if I was a manufacturer there, 70% was going to the U.S. I want to do blockchain to show you that there is nothing in the supply chain going to the U.S. that has any forced labor whatsoever in it. I can prove
and
that.
that's going to be one of the things that'll come around. And all of the goals, the ESG, Environmental Sustainability Group goals, and the sustainability of our processes, the carbon neutrality and reducing carbon. I'm working with companies that are blockchain based now that are trying to develop products that will replace coal and be far less polluting and be able to offer an advantage to meet climate goals now. And we're trying to get something built for the early part of next year to make trading in carbon offsets, carbon credits, and these products and power all work together and be seamless on a platform built on this technology. So what do I see? I see new ways for people to cooperate together. We have decentralized autonomous organizations that can be global organizations, and there's a lot of ways people who care and want to help save the planet can contribute. Citizen scientists can stand up and be counted and join a DAO where you get an academic institution, you get some government funds and other funds to buy sensors, and so we want a sophisticated censoring program to measure carbon output or intake or whatever it might be, or measure water quality or whatever it is that you need measured. You develop the sensors, send them out to the citizen scientists all over the world, figure out where they got to go. They could go place them. They get a crypto bounty for doing so. So there's a benefit to them. But all the information, all the data goes onto a publicly shared blockchain that makes it easy to use. And we can do a lot with that. We can really help the science. We can do things that are not doable now with this technology. That's why that's where I see it going and why I want to help get it out there.
You really do. It comes through. You really do.
I care about this.
I know.
This matters. I share the goals of a lot of young people. The Gen Zers and the millennials are like, why did you boomers screw everything up? Well,
absolutely.
I was asking why my parents screwed everything up for me.
Yeah.
It's the way of the world, guys. Sorry. But we can work together to make it better. And I think particularly DAOs and impact DAOs that are for social good can make a huge impact, can really make a difference.
Well, let's talk about this community then for a minute. All right. So Jim and I, just so you kids know, this is how far we've gotten. We own the URL, the DAMA, the Digital Asset Management Association.org. What's our intention? Well, we're going to actually create a community. Take it, Jim. Go ahead.
Digital asset management is going to be really important. I think in 2023, we talked about this in the last program that I believe that the United States is going to come in big on regulation and legislation in 2023. I'm pretty sure that legislation will pass that will make it more secure to do trading of current cryptocurrencies, but of just digital assets at all, which includes a lot of other things than just cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
And make these kinds of organizations, decentralized organizations, give them a status. For example, in cooperative associations, many have antitrust exemptions. If you extended that to these DAOs as cooperative associations and make sure that they're classified like that, that would be a huge benefit. And you could get lots of different kinds of organizations working together for a common goal and do it transparently so that then you don't have to worry about antitrust or anything else.
Right.
You've got it covered. The DAMA itself, the Digital Assets Management organization or group, would be something where we could get together accountants, us lawyers, financial experts, and people who manage money in a big way, some of the big crypto organizations, and with that, go ahead and take that legislation and then begin to apply it in a responsible way and develop codes of conduct, develop standards, help the organization to integrate into society at the same time as society accepts the new way of doing things that this offers.
Right.
And I think you do so in a fairly seamless way. You have to have some sort of a trade association or group that will help foster that kind of innovation for the group throughout society.
So the DAMA.org, just so everybody knows, I'm not there yet. I'm building a website just yet. I got the pieces of the puzzle. I just haven't put it together, but I'm going to in early 2023.
It's a mutual thing. We're working together.
We're working together. But in the meantime, let's do this. I mean, we're popping these out on Spotify. They're going on our YouTube channel. So this is all hot topics in international trade. You can Google that and find these podcasts. But,
excellent.
Let's start chatting on YouTube. Why don't we do that?
Okay.
Jim's very open to other ideas as well. If there's something that you think that we didn't cover so far in the first three, and there's a ton of stuff, let's see what the majority thinks should be the next topic, or should we delve more into something we've already mentioned? And we'll accommodate. Definitely. We'll go from there.
The approach I've been taking, I've got 8 articles now in the digital assets arena. And it's at least in part because I wanted to learn what's going on. So I'd go out and study what's going on, and then I write an article about it because I've been writing professionally for 40 years.
Yep.
I've had, publications and articles and.
But I've been really pushing you ever since.
And
that's what that's my job.
Whipping me virtually for go horse go.
Well, let's get back on the wagon. Let's go. Well, it's worked out so far, right?
Well, all I can say is give some more ideas because I love to learn and I want to know more about this. And you'll never run out of interesting things to learn with this whole sector.
Yeah.
I mean. Just think about just the breadth of it. Central bank digital currencies, stable coins, the non-fungible tokens, and what they can do with intellectual property.
It's so confusing.
Free with the ability to use your identity. Holy cow. No, hold on to your seats, guys. We're in for a rough ride.
Well,
no,
it's just we just hope at this juncture it moves faster than what we're currently predicting.
If the government's in charge, it's slow. If the government gets out of the way and says, okay, here's what you can do, here's what's legit, here's how you comply and can meet the rules, so go forth and do it, then I think the private sector's ready to rock and roll and take off with this.
Yep.
And it's cool. I mean, goodness, I've got ideas for all kind of DAOs. I'd like to set one up where every indigenous group or every religious group that wants to get together and have their own smartphone with an app that they can go to with, the stuff that they're interested in, that matters to them, is available to them.
Right.
And then share that. It's easy then from there to share. And
Jim,
that's part of what we're going to see in the new economy.
Should we give a shout out to the Catawba tribe now that you've joined the council?
Absolutely.
All right, give the Catawba tribe out in what, North Carolina, is it?
Yeah, they're in North Carolina, the Catawba Digital Economic Zone. I'm on the advisory board, recently appointed. Yep. I'm just delighted. They're an Indian tribe in North Carolina. They have their own Indian companies. They do government contracting, and they're setting up a set of laws and rules to then enable both stable coins to be issued and DAOs to be formed under their rules. And they have a separate jurisdiction from the United States, but they generally comply with United States law.
These guys are ahead of the game.
They're ahead of the game.
They really are.
They're very clever. And I have some ideas about how to use their system. In fact, I'm looking now with one of the lawyers there. We're working on the DAO law to really tune it a little bit.
I know. And guys, I just want to, shout out to you there. I know you got me on the council there and you sent me, but the first meeting I sat in, I went, zoom, zoom, zoom. And I thought, okay, Jim, take it from here. I got some catching up to do, man. But
well,
hey.
Yeah, this is all the stuff that's what I call behind the click. You just want the things to go on and make it be easy for most everybody.
Yeah.
I see we're running out of time, Bob.
Yep,
so
we are.
We probably ought to sign off.
We're going to sign off.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and again, you guys tell us. We pop these out pretty quick, these first three. I want to know what you think should be the next topic in this realm of the universe. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Bye now.
Relax. We've got you covered. Global trade compliance to us is just another day at the beach.